Meet me. Alright, boys, welcome back to another squirrely review, and today we will be covering Hwayoung. Very, very strong unit right now, obviously, so as always, we're going to go into the skills, builds, etc., etc. Let's get started. Alright, so Hwayoung is a pretty straightforward hero. All her skills are, there's nothing complicated about her. So her S1, there's no debuff or anything. She gets a self 15% CR push when she uses it, and basically she just kicks them in the face. It actually doesn't do too much damage, except for Uberius Tooth exists. So if you have her on Uberius Tooth with her crazy attack, this thing actually hits very hard. Around the range with attack buff of probably like 6 to 10k, depending on how crazy your attack is, which is pretty damn solid for an S1, but no debuffs, nothing else special other than the fact that it does a pretty monstrous amount of damage. Her S2 is kind of like other attack-based heroes where it kind of just gives them a huge amount of built-in attack. I think the first hero that had this was Gunther, I could be wrong about that, and then other heroes kind of followed suit. This is pretty huge. She decreases damage taken from critical hits by 30%. So a lot of traditional DPSs, like this hero, I underestimated this too. She is a lot tankier than she looks like because of that. And also, typical can't have multiple damage reduction effects. And at the end of at the start of battle and the end of the turn, she gets a barrier for one turn. So basically, she kind of has like the FCC thing going on where she's constantly giving herself a barrier. And because it scales proportional to her monstrous attack, and she has this built-in mitigation, she's actually far tankier than you would expect. Now, her S3, it just kills you. That's how you describe this move. So it doesn't debuff or anything, but it has full 100% defense ignore. And when the target's max health is greater than the caster's max health, damage dealt increases proportional to the difference up to a maximum of 100%. So this move scales very heavily if you hit a high HP unit, which is why a lot of people build lower HP Hwayoungs. And I believe someone could post the exact number. I want to say that the difference that you have to have between your Hwayoung's HP and the target's HP is 6,000, or I think more exactly it's like 67 or something like that. But basically around 6,000 HP and you will get that 100% damage bonus. But honestly, even without it, this thing hits really freaking hard. On top of that, it full cleanses her and grants her immunity for 2 turns. And if you soul burn, I mean, it's not clear against the dummies, but you actually get an extra turn mechanic, and it lets you cycle this S3 very fast. And with attack buff, this is pretty much a 100% kill against anything with more than 20k HP, unless they have very serious damage mitigation, like, Purus 30% reduction, something like that. But one of the hardest hitting heroes in the game thus far by a long shot. Let's move on to the builds. Alright, so how do you build Hwayoung? This one's mine. I have her at A imprint. And building her is actually extremely simple. You just want as much attack as possible. As a hero, she got 0 benefit from crit chance or crit damage. You'll notice I have stats in crit chance, crit damage, effectiveness. That's just because my gear sucks. But in general, you don't need any of these, and these are all wasted stats. The typical build is you just want to get as much attack as possible, as much speed as possible, but realistically you don't want her too fast that she's outspeeding your attack buffer. And HP, most people want to keep it pretty low, but at the higher tiers you do want around like 13 to 14, just so you don't get one-shotted easily. And what a lot of players are doing is because she self-barriers, you try and just get this defense up. A lot of players prioritize defense over HP because with that barrier, that just means you're, the defense is going to get better value out of it while making sure that you retain that one-shot potential, even against, like lower HP units that only have like 16k, 17k HP. So very easy to build. Just stack attack, speed, and whatever you can do on defense and health, that's up to you, and completely ignore crit chance, crit damage, and effectiveness. Hopefully you have better gear than me. In terms of artifacts, there's really one clear choice, Uberius Tooth. It's just so good on her because of the fact that she has a massive amount of built-in attack. You really don't want to use anything else. If you don't have this, you can experiment with other things like, maybe Hell Cutter or her own artifact, something like that. But really your endgame goal is to get to Uberius Tooth, because really it's just so much better than her other options. So as you can see, pretty easy to build. Intellectually, maybe you don't have the gear for it, but the idea is pretty easy. There's not much variation. So let's move on to the showcase. Alright, so let's try Hwayoung in Arena. We're gonna 3v4 this. It's just a Hwayoung showcase. We don't care about AOL here because we brought Mediator. So let's just, I don't know, provoke Politis maybe. Oh, actually, the game has decided we'll provoke nothing. That's okay though, that's okay. We should be completely fine here. So the goal here is, what's the biggest threat here? It's the Rem, right? There's an FCC up and a barrier up, and Hwayoung can miss on Rem. So let's see how much damage our Hwayoung does against a Rem, which is a pretty tanky hero usually on counter, with mitigation on the board. So we did miss. Okay. Ooh, unfortunately gets some lifesteal. Still almost got completely one-shotted. Actually, without the counter right there to heal up a little bit, I'm fairly certain that would have died. Okay. A lot of dual attacks here. We'll finish off this Rem. And now we're just going to have Hwayoung kick everyone to death. So Politis is probably the biggest threat here. Oh my god, look at that extra damage. The extra damage alone almost just dumpstered her. Let's hit the AOL. Bring Hwayoung. Yes. Okay, not as vicious damage there, but still pretty solid. Who do we want to kick this time? Yeah, let's just finish off the Politis. Kick her in the face. Okay. Alright. We get unbuffable again. That's really no big deal. We don't care about any of that. Little dual attack action. Let's keep kicking them. And there you go. This is pretty much a guaranteed win at this point. Let's just, we'll do it without attack buff just to test the damage. So no attack buff here. No buffs whatsoever, just all her. 20,000. Let's try another one. Alright, let's try a moronic team here and just try and abuse Hwayoung as much as possible here. So we literally just brought a bunch of stuff that pushes. Let's push this back. Let's give Hwayoung attack buff. And then let's kick Belian in the face, because Belian is annoying. And this is a 100% kill. 29,000 damage. No way he's gonna survive that. No way anyone's gonna survive that. Okay. Beats up Amelia. Oh, I should have used the S2 on Hwayoung there, actually. Alright. And the other thing we get to show in this video is just how strong Hwayoung is against evasion units, which is why I picked this team. Hwayoung kicks. Look at that! She just freaking exploded! That was just a random dual attack, and she literally just exploded. Let's kick Rimuru in the face here. Almost one-shot. These are 12,000 damage S1s. That is absolutely absurd. Let's give her attack buff again. Kick this Rimuru. We'll just attack Violet. Look at that. This Violet is getting absolutely dumpstered. Like, there's nothing he can really do against this kind of damage. Alright, now let's kick Violet in the face. I hope I miss. So I missed. Let's see how much damage I do on a miss. So evasion is useless against Hwayoung. 21,000 damage. Let's try another one. Alright, last one, boys. I think you get the gist of this hero by now. Uh-oh. This thing's actually faster than me. Okay, it's not a big deal. It's just going to push A-Lots back. We don't actually need him for anything. Alright, so let's do this. I actually think we kill the Rem first. Right? Let's provoke this guy. And let's just give attack buff here. And because we have A-Lots, we actually can soul burn. So let's see, do we miss? We did not miss, so Rem is dead. 100%. Rem deleted. Fire unit deleting water units. Kick Hwayoung in the face. And almost one-shot her. Okay, this happens, won't kill. No problem. Now let's heal up. Maybe my A-Lots can survive to push my Hwayoung. Chop, chop. No problem. We bring Hwayoung. So that Hwayoung is deleted. We kick ML Lilius in the face. Then we push up Hwayoung. Boom, we get attack buff back. We kick Apak in the face. Alright, let's see. How tanky is this Apak? Not tanky enough. And that is this hero. In a nutshell, I don't think you guys need to see any more. Kick in the face. And yeah, she is just very, very strong. Let's move on. Alright, so this is not a great showcase because I'm in placements right now because I'm not doing RTAs this season. But let's just use this as a showcase of Hwayoung's damage. He does have a Ruel here. So we're just going to try to dumpster his team immediately. Alright, so we'll just wipe out... I don't know. Doesn't matter. We'll wipe out the SSB here. We'll just use this. We're not really too concerned about losing. And now we'll take out this Ruel. And this is really all Hwayoung has to do, just delete someone from the team. Not much setup, just an attack buff. 25k before the... like, I couldn't even proc the Aburius Tooth. There you go. He's pretty much dead already. Hwayoung's just going to kick him in the face. We'll wave to this guy. Oh, I can't. I hate that I can't use these emotes. But you get the gist. There's really nothing too special about her other than the fact that she's hard to kill. And she kind of just one-shots them. And that's pretty much her entire role. So let's stab this guy. We'll kick him in the face. Oh, he doesn't even survive that. And that's pretty much Hwayoung in RTA. Alright, so as always, the classic question, is Hwayoung good? Well, of course she is. She actually dumpstered me out of Legend last season, so a lot of people, higher-end players, hate this hero, and it really has nothing to do with the hero, but more about the timing of her release, because if you watch this in the future, they released this hero the day before the end of one of the RTA seasons, and she actually is pretty busted to the point that people are calling for nerfs. Yeah, I mean, I actually wouldn't mind it. I mean, she is kind of overtuned, but let's just go into her ratings. So arena ratings, arena offense, I'm going to give her a solid B+. Again, when it comes to arena, I recommend just using AoE units to get that boring crap over with as quickly as possible. But she's certainly very good at arena because she has a very reliable one-shot. But again, the matches will be a little bit longer than you want in a typical arena match. Arena defense, a lot of people are actually using her on that as a one-shot threat. I'll give her like a B there as well. I mean, it's arena defense. Pretty much nothing works on arena defense anymore against top players because, you know, there's so much rock, paper, scissors going on. A good player can always craft something that will dumpster any defense. Guild Wars offense, I'm actually just going to give her an S because she can very easily one-shot a lot of the meta defense units like Apak, Ravi, and Belian and stuff. So she's a very quick, easy win. I've been using her a lot on Guild Wars offense, and she's pretty much an auto win against a lot of comps. Guild Wars defense, I mean, I think she's still pretty good there. We'll give her a solid like B there. I don't think she's like meta or anything because you can very easily bait her. So it's not really that big of a deal and just kind of work around her mechanics. But again, she's a very reliable one shot. Going to be pretty scary. You could think of her like Watcher Shuri, except she won't die instantly, right? And RTA, she is very easily an S. She's very, very strong in RTA right now. She's very tanky, which is deceptive, but with her built in anti crit proof and her constant FCC barriers, the fact that she can't really be controlled outside of hard CCs because she cleanses herself before she S3s you, and the fact that she actually has pretty decent, consistent damage output with Uberius Tooth. Again, without Tooth, her S1 damage is actually quite minimal, but with Tooth, it's very crazy, and Tooth ignores defense or most of your defense, so it does pretty consistent, crazy damage. And the thing is, she's a fire unit, but she's really not, right? She benefits from being a fire unit because water units, I mean, there's not that many water meta units anymore, but water units will struggle to hit her. But really, because she's a non-critting attack-based hero, she's basically an ML because she doesn't really miss. And she misses, but she doesn't care that she misses, right? Because the biggest part of misses is that your crit damage doesn't take effect, but she has no crit damage to begin with, and most of her damage comes from like Uberius Tooth. Like, it just doesn't really matter when she misses. She still gets the vast majority of her damage off, so she's like a mini ML in that way. But overall, just an extremely, extremely good hero. A definite build, at least for now, until they release the next crazy thing that makes her useless. But that's probably going to be quite some time, especially with all the people complaining about balance right now, including myself. So anyways, that's my review of Hwayoung. Obviously, she's very good. I have really nothing bad to say about her. Just a very good hero, not limited, not ML, so very accessible, and definitely would not be a mistake to build her, at least right now. So anyways, thanks for watching. Until next time. Peace out, boys.